Hello and welcome to another episode of Life and Truth Podcast. My name is Jonathan Obise and I'm excited to have you listening today. If this is the first time you're coming to the podcast, I encourage you to go to all of my social media platforms at Jonathan Obise, and of course my website jonathanobise.com, and you'll be able to listen to all the previous episodes, and I so much believe there's going to be a blessing to your heart. So one more time, you're welcome. Today I'm going to be speaking about something very special, and I'm going to be speaking about character versus charisma, which is greater. Character versus charisma, which is greater. Now, I have some definition here I would love to share with you. Now, someone said that character is the person that you are after you've chiseled and have gotten past all your necessary material to what's underneath. That's character. Now, charisma, it says that charisma is a wonderful quality, right? That you should have. Now it says that those with charisma have what it takes to inspire and influence others. That is charisma. So you think about anyone who you just know has this, sometimes it's just personal charm. Sometimes it's just this, there's something about them. Sometimes it's because of their intellectual capacity. Or probably you think about the sports environment and you think about people who, are just gifted, they're skillful and they wield influence over millions because of that. They have this charismatic presence about them when they do whatever it is that they do. You think about people also, individuals in the political environment, maybe it's even in, ministry, in church, whatever it is, your environment. You think of people who just, have this charismatic thing about them, that they have this thing that, attracts people to them, right? That is charisma, that presence. Now, charisma is good. However, charisma should not be used or, should not be a substitute for character. And we're going to see more about this. But charisma should not be used as a substitute for character. Now, the danger of charisma, whether it is, that personal, magnetism or capacity, that's capacity to do whatever that people do, whether it's in church, ministry, perform miracles, signs, wonders, prophesy. The danger of charisma, arises when it is used as a cover-up for truth, or as it's used as a cover-up for character flaws. That is when you see the danger of charisma. Right now, it even becomes much more clear when you look at our society today and you think about prominent individuals who have been thrown into disrepute. Very prominent, a lot of pictures come to my mind. But you think about prominent individuals who have been thrown into disrepute because of what someone called, gold, glory, girls. Gold, money, acquisition of material resources and all of that has thrown so many people into issues, character flaws, has revealed the character flaws in people. Glory, fame has also revealed the character flaws in some people. And then girls, immorality, extramarital affairs and all of those things has revealed the character flaws of so many charismatic individuals. You go back in history, you even think about contemporary time, so many examples. And if you as an individual want to be that individual that's able to live a lifetime of, a quality life, that will really please God, that will help you to fulfill destiny, then you begin to see the importance of ensuring that beyond the charisma that you may have as a result of your endowment, your privileges, your skill, your intellectual capacity, your likability, or whatever it is that you do that makes people to be attracted to you, beyond all of that charisma, you want to watch out for the quality of your character. Now, I have some things that I've written here about, facts and truth about character and charisma. And it says here that charisma attracts, character sustains. Charisma can open doors for you. Charisma can make people to just like you. Maybe you sing, they just like your voice, or you play an instrument, they just love you. Or maybe the way you talk and the way you speak, it's just likable and wonderful. Or maybe you're handsome and you're beautiful and it just sort of makes people to like you. Now that is charisma, right? It just gives you that influence over people. But it is character that will sustain that influence. Charisma is loud, character is quiet. most of the time people wouldn't see character just by looking. The first thing people see when they look at you probably will just be the charisma, that presence that you have, maybe the quality of your presence, the quality of your appearance, the quality of whatever it is that you have. But character is usually deeper than charisma. Charisma shows off, character does not show off. Time also will prove character, right? Have you ever thought about this? In the award of degrees, when in universities, when they're awarding degrees, they always say, oh, he or she has been found worthy of character and learning. Character and learning. They don't say charisma and learning. They say he or she has been found worthy of character and learning. Why? He or she they were not expelled in school and all of that. Somehow they just scale through. Why? And because of that, they've been found worthy of character and learning. Now it tells you of the importance of character beyond learning, beyond the skill, the intellectual dexterity, and all the things that the individual has accumulated over time. It says now beyond the learning, they've also been found worthy of character, because it is character that really sustains destiny. It is character that really sustains whatever it is that you have. Now, we must also understand, of course, that charisma is fickle. Charisma is fickle. It's shallow. Charisma is shallow. Character is deep. Charisma is superficial. Character is weighty. Right? And that is why we must understand the importance of character in the life of any individual, in your life and also in my life. Now, are there individuals that we can look at? Individuals, charismatic individuals, who actually, some of them lived well and some of them really did not end well. Think about someone like Solomon. Let me even start with someone like Samson. Can you think of anyone that was as charismatic as Samson? That it was described in the Bible that just with the jawbone of a lion, he killed thousands and thousands of Philistines. He was charismatic. He had the giftings, the endowments of God upon his life. But he had a major flaw. He had a character flaw. And that makes him lose his two eyes and eventually, killed himself, or eventually led to his death without really fulfilling the full purpose and the will of God for his life. Think about someone also like Solomon. Solomon was charismatic, that people will leave their countries far and wide. Queen Vashti from Egypt, from Ethiopia, will come all the way to listen to the wisdom of Solomon. He was charismatic, but he also lacked character. And towards the end of his life, that led him into terrible decisions that took him away, of course, from the plan and purpose of God for his life. Think about someone also like Saul. Charismatic Saul. The Bible says when the children of Israel said, oh, we wanted a king. And when Samuel was to anoint Saul, the Bible said when he stood amongst the people, he was way shoulder above them. He was someone who was charismatic. They desired him. They said, yes, he must be the one. Charismatic, but he lacked character and ended terribly. We'll also have other examples that you can look at of those who had consistency of character. Joseph had a consistency of character. He was, in Potiphar's house. He was lied against. He was thrown into prison, but he maintained that consistency of character. And no wonder he was elevated to the position that he was elevated to. If you and I must fulfill destiny, must fulfill purpose, we must also have the consistency of character in the private, in the public, that will ensure that we don't throw ourselves into disrepute and we don't throw ourselves into shame. Now, before I wrap up this, I just want to say this. It is possible to fix flawed character, and it takes work. You have to recognize the fact that people may place you here, but if you look at your life and there are character flaws, you will do yourself a favor to either fix those flaws, and if you cannot fix them, meet someone who is probably more spiritual than you, or someone who God has helped in that area of life, or that God has helped by the grace of God. You meet them and you tell them, this is the situation in my life, this and this and this is a character flaw. I may be endowed, I may be intellectual, I may be gifted, I may be this, I may be that. People may think this and that of me, but I know there is something wrong in my life. Because if that is not fixed, like you look at our world today, ministers who have been thrown into terrible things because of the flaw in their character. Charismatic, they can talk, they can preach, they can do this, they can do that. They have the gift, the appearance, the form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. The Bible talks about that. They have charisma, but they lack character, and that could be very dangerous for an individual. So we must understand that charisma can be inconsistent, but character is consistent. Character does not change. Character does not change when you're in Africa or you go to the Americas. It does not change. You go to Asia, it does not change. Character is consistent. Charisma can be fickle and also very inconsistent. Lastly, I want to say this: your character determines the sustainability of your destiny. This is very important. Your character determines the sustainability of your destiny. I believe that this episode have blessed your heart. Please do not hesitate to like, to share, to just spread the word. Let as many people listen to this, because I know that so many people will be blessed by this. I look forward to sharing more with you on the next episode. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for listening. God bless you, and bye-bye.